Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Monday, February 7th, and of course I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. You can find me on Facebook and TikTok and other social media by searching me, Larry Steinhouse. Hey, just a reminder, if you're watching this show online, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, and please say hi so I know you're watching. By the way, if you're commenting from a group and not the Money Chat Now fan page, your name will not show up on my dashboard, so please go to the Money Chat Now page and comment there so I can recognize you. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Mick, and good morning, someone who's not commenting from the Money Chat Now page. All right, you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. On today's show, we're going to be discussing, of course, the futures update. We're going to be talking about my opinion of Meta and the metaverse. We're going to be talking about Canadian truckers, China and Russia, Airlines and Booze. They actually go together, don't they? China and Russia and Airlines and Booze. Freedom event planned. We're going to be talking about Peloton Stock and a Snap upgrade. And, of course, we're going to be talking about today's picks and plays. All right, let's go. You ready? Here we go. Oh, I have somebody from Toronto. From Ontario, Canada, saying hi. I don't know your name, but I appreciate you watching. That's awesome. All right. Sometimes a week like last week really needs to be taken into perspective. We had some great earnings plays with Google, Amazon, and to my surprise, Snap, but of course, Meta tanked. This was a weird anomaly. However, it proves that all giants can trip and fall now and then. Hey, so now that giant Meta has fallen and fallen a lot, I've noticed in the past when this happens, these stocks usually bounce back within a year. The market is a bit confused with all these mixed but great earnings, so it may be interesting as we go into the market. We also started off January with earnings that were mediocre. The 10-year Treasury bond is still shooting up and consumer confidence is falling. This made January, which is usually a great month, kind of a dismal month. The Treasury bond and mortgage interest rates are rising, and the Fed has declared that they will raise interest rates at least 3 times in the coming year. They also stated that they are not opposed to a half-point increase if necessary. By the way, if that happens, it's going to shock the market, and the market will fall bigly on that announcement. We'll see what the rest of February brings as the investors look to mitigate their risks and try to make as much of a return as possible. This week we have some earnings in focus, and hopefully they will shape the direction of the market positively. Tomorrow on Tuesday we have Pfizer and Peloton and Lyft. On Wednesday we have CVS and Disney. By the way, I'm really looking forward to Disney's earnings, and we're also going to have Uber earnings on Wednesday. On Thursday, we're going to see Pepsi, Coke, and Twitter. I find it interesting that Pepsi and Coke both reporting on the same day. Right now, the Dow is actually not doing so bad. It's only down 3 points. It was down a lot earlier. It's down only 3 points. The S&P is up 3 points, and the NASDAQ is up 23.5 points. So that's actually not too bad. I'm actually pretty happy about that. All right, let's talk about Meta, which is Facebook, for you guys who don't know who that is. So the problem with Meta is basically, believe it or not, the metaverse. The company is really counting on the metaverse to be the future. You know, this is really, they may have an issue. Is it really the future? Well, I also believe it may be, but I've said before, it really scares me. We all know about the censorship going on right now caused by government overreach and big media. Imagine a world that is completely controlled by one view. You know, the view of a single corporation named Meta who owns the metaverse. While you are visiting, you will not be allowed to be exposed to anything they don't want you to be exposed to. And you will be exposed to whatever they want to expose you to. Forget about the free speech issue. This is a free-thinking mind control issue. It's going to be major. Your minds will actually be programmed by certain stimuli to agree with or like only certain commentary. Pay attention to this. This is the future. The metaverse is the ultimate mind control. Do you remember actually the waterboarding controversy many years ago? So waterboarding in itself doesn't cause someone to drown. It only makes them believe that they will drown, and they will go through all the anxiety and fear of actually drowning without drowning. Well, the metaverse can easily have the same effect with anything. Imagine a 3D image that you believe your experience, maybe your loved one is being tortured. Ugh. I can only imagine some of the scenarios that metaverse will expose you to and how it can be used for mind control. So how does this affect the stock? Well, Meta is banking on the metaverse to be a voluntary movement, just like an Alexa device in your home. Hey, do you guys remember reading 1984 by George Orwell, and the book described the televiewer on the wall? Well, the televiewer was, of course, controlled by the government, and it also spied on you at home. Well, the Alexa device on your kitchen counter or in your bedroom is capable and is probably doing this as we speak. So when you read the book 1984, did you ever imagine that the characters in the book not only had volunteered for the televiewer, but volunteered to put it in your homes, but they actually paid for them and were happy when they installed them? That's what's going on right now. This is horrible. All right, hey, I want to say hello to Jane. I got a bunch of people saying hi. I didn't get a chance to say hello to everybody because it's moving really, really fast. Thank you. I thank you all for watching. I totally appreciate it. Hey, for you watching in Canada, let's talk about the Canada truckers. Hey, by now you've heard of the Freedom Rally led by tens of thousands of truckers in Canada. These guys are heroes in my opinion, and they're protesting the ridiculous vaccine mandates that Canada is imposing on truck drivers to enter the country. The best part of this protest is that it's sending a message to all the Nazi-can leaders across the world that humans are fed up with the Gestapo actions of our government. The people of the world should probably write some kind of letter or agreement that should start with, I don't know, something like, we the people of the world, in order to form a more perfect nation. You know, something like the document that used to float around the United States of America before it became the United Nazi Communisms. Well, these truckers and Canadians have shut down all of Ottawa, and although they've had a great following, of course, some of the people are complaining. Listen to this. The transport minister, the transport minister, I love the word minister. The transport minister, basically in a televised announcement said to the truckers, the protesters in Ottawa have made their point. The entire country heard their point. And then he urged the protesters, the truck drivers, please go home and engage elected officials. Engage elected officials? Seriously? This is the solution? Does he really mean that like the guy who put fences around churches and arrested pastors, those elected officials, those are the people he wants us to do? If you didn't know about the Canada locking up pastors, do some research. No Minister of Transportation and all of the other elected officials using Nazi techniques to push your agenda. The cavalry has just begun to arrive. As this movement grows, the government will be warned to narrow their job and leave the people to live in freedom. It is rumored that the cavalry will be coming to this once great nation to rescue it as well. I look forward to supporting that movement. I'm definitely going to be there. Oh, unbelievable. All right, we got somebody's really kind of excited about Canada. I love it. All right, let's talk about China and Russia. And now, on another note of the weak leadership in the White House, this story is a huge problem for the United States. What happened to this country? Apparently, Russia and China are setting themselves up as the largest superpower in the world, and they aren't even being shy about it. President Xi and President Putin have met and forged an alliance that will probably make them the largest superpower and replace the United States, who has held that position for decades and maybe even a century or longer. The two country leaders released a statement that can be found on the Kremlin's website. I found this statement. I actually read it, and frankly, it scares me because of its simplicity and non-threatening gestures. So the statement talks about peace and clean energy, right? It talks about how everyone should live in harmony and that democracy should be a universal value. It also mentions human rights as a goal. It has matters of socialism as well. Let me explain why you should be very scared of this letter and what it means. Both Russia and China have a history of imprisoning their people with socialistic views and policies. Heck, we understand communism for both these countries. It came from both these countries, and now as we Americans are starting to experience the lines for food and basic necessities such as toilet paper, I don't think this is a coincidence. This may be the next wave of how the corrupt, devil-worshipping minion that includes Biden, Pelosi, and Soros takes control of you again, just like they did with the scamdemic and this vaccine mandate. Be prepared for this, and believe it or not, the best way to prepare yourself is to own hard assets, precious metals, and real estate. By the way, are you ready to learn how to prepare yourself by buying real estate with no money out of your pocket? Watch this commercial and learn. Hey, thank you guys in Canada. I totally appreciate you understanding that I want this to end and you want it to end too. Take a look at this commercial.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
And if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn about how to make more money. Hit that like button and let me know you're enjoying the show. And of course, you can leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and I will try to respond to them live. Hey, don't forget to share the show as well, because I'm sure that other people will enjoy what we're talking about. All right, so far, actually, believe it or not, the Dow is actually zero. It's unchanged. The futures are unchanged. Wow, that's pretty wild. The S&P is up 3.5, and the NASDAQ is up 25.75. All right, so far we've been discussing my opinion of Meta and how you're going to be brainwashed. We talked about the heroes, the Canadian truckers. Go truckers. And by the way, we need to truck Joe Biden next. All right, we also talked about China and Russia. Coming up, we have Airlines and Booze. We have a freedom event planned. I'm going to tell you about that. We talked about Peloton. We're going to be talking about Peloton stock and a Snap upgrade. And of course, we're going to be talking about today's picks and plays. But hey, did you guys hit that like button? Did you hit that share button yet? Don't forget to leave comments on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube or Twitter. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure and set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Also, look up Money Chat Now on Facebook when you get home and let me know what you think of the show. Hey, Bill is saying hi, and Jared is saying hi, and Lewis is saying hi. He loves the show. All right, let's talk about Airlines and Booze. So until the scamdemic and Nazi can ways of the government requiring masks and vaccines to fly, I used to fly about 5 or 6 times a year, and I used to love sitting in first class. I was used to drinking my 1 or 2 glasses of scotch while I waited to reach my destination. As you know, right now I won't fly again until I remove those ridiculous mask mandates, because frankly I'm going to end up on the do not fly list because I'm going to punch somebody out. However, many people are flying with masks, and this has caused arguments and fights with passengers and airline attendants. Basically, instead of the airlines solving the problem, they decided to work on one of the symptoms of the problem and stop serving alcohol and food, believe it or not, in a measure to stop the fights on board the aircraft. Well, as we reach the possible end of the tyrannical mask mandate on aircraft, Southwest Airlines will be the first to bring back alcohol in their cabin and offer it to passengers. Of course, like I said, the airlines also stopped serving food and, of course, soda because of the insane people at the airline workers' unions are afraid that people will need to take off their masks to eat and drink. Duh! So once again, it's all about the masks. Well, if only someone in the airline unions would stand up to the tyranny and stop following Gestapo Joe and his mandates, all of this would go away. Well, I look forward to having booze and food again on airline flights. In fact, I even look forward to flying again. I look forward to the truckers coming down here in America to free us from the idiots we have in office. Bring those truckers here, Canada. Bring them here. All right. I'm going to talk about something a little bit different that we're going to be doing. We're going to be putting together an event. And speaking of how to be free, Investor Schooling is having an amazing event in April, and you want to be there. This event will not only be discussing money and specifically how to make more and keep more, pay less taxes, but we're also going to have two prominent, well-known, and admired freedom fighters who will be talking about how you can help win the fight for freedom. It's going to be an all-day event on April 24th at the historic Washington Crossing Inn in Newtown, and it'll include a continental breakfast and a wonderful lunch by their first-class chef. Listen, go to number 4, MMW to register. Number 4, MMW.com to register for this event. The current price is $197 as an early bird special. I'm telling you right now, the price is going to be increasing. Remember, this event will be about money and freedom. And when you find out who the guest speakers are, you're going to be sorry if you missed out. So go to 4mmw.com and register right now. 4mmw. All right, let's talk about Peloton Stock. Hey, do you remember me saying that I thought Peloton was ripe for a buyout? I had suggested Apple, Alphabet, or Meta should make a play for this. I actually pushed Meta thinking it would be a great addition to the metaverse. But of course, with Meta tumbling on earnings and the metaverse, well, their woes, they certainly can't think about it. It turns out, however, that Amazon and Nike might be looking at the company as a possible addition to their brands. Of course, neither company is officially making an announcement, or are they confirming the deal. But the rumor has boosted the stock 25% on Friday. Look, I'll tell you that I've seen this happen before. When an overzealous or maybe a bribed journalist writes an article to pump a stock. So just be cautious on this one. I'm not even sure if I think Peloton is beat up enough to be a takeover yet. If the stock hits 40 or more on the rumor and it is not being confirmed by a buyer, I would tend to really short this stock or buy puts. I think that's going to be the play, but let's look forward to see how the story evolves. Hey, let's talk about Snap, which is really a stock that I thought I would never even talk about. I actually thought it would amount to nothing. I really can't believe that Snap has become a profitable company. During MITS last year, this stock rose over $70 a share, and at that time I was teaching that this was a ridiculous price. Of course, I was proven correct, and the stock moved back into the mid-20s in January. However, they just had their best quarter ever and became profitable. That was bizarre. The stock actually popped over 58% on Thursday and Friday and is now trading just under 40. With this news, Bank of America just upgraded the stock to buy. The analysts at Bank of America feel that Snap has handles the iPhone privacy issue better than the other social media giants such as Facebook and Twitter. They also, by the way, this is weird, in the same article, they warned that Snap may have some competition from TikTok, and this could be an issue in the future. By the way, do you guys have a TikTok app yet? Are you using TikTok? I'm curious to see if anybody has TikTok out there. I have to say, I downloaded it, and it's very addicting. Oh, I can't stand it. The next thing I know, I'm swiping through these videos. A half hour goes by. I'm like, what just happened? But I never used Snap at all, by the way. I didn't know much about it. By the way, all right, if you're using TikTok or Snap, let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to see. And by the way, let's take this break and learn how to make some money with real estate.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. All right, so right now the futures are actually up 14. The S&P is up 4.25, and the NASDAQ is up 21. We talked about my opinion of Meta and how scary it is. We talked about Canadian truckers, the heroes. These guys are heroes. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They're heroes. All right, we talked about China and Russia, and how they are going to become the superpower of the world, and because we have President Poopy Pants sitting there and going, I don't know what to do. We also talked about Airlines and Booze. We talked about the Freedom Event. Be there, number4mmw.com, number4mmw.com. Don't write the word number, of course. We talked about Peloton, and we talked about Snap, and we talked about TikTok, and a couple of people online are saying that they love TikTok, where other people are saying, no, 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 no way, no TikTok for me. All right. Coming up is today's picks and plays, but did you guys hit that like button yet? Did you hit that share button yet? Hey, let everybody know what great stock plays are coming by sharing this information. You can share on your page or in groups that you feel will benefit from great stock plays. Share it in groups. Come on now. You can also leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and I will definitely try to respond to them. Hey, if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about politics behind the stock market. And you'll have a good laugh, too. All right, let's talk about what's going on in the market. So the market is kind of steady right now. Dow again is up 8, the S&P is up 3, and the NASDAQ is up 17. And there are two things on the mind of investors. Number one, is the economy over, and is war imminent? I got to say, I think both. The economy is going to take a hit as inflation and interest rates continue to rise. How high will they both go is unknown, but if the Fed raises interest rates too fast, the market's going to tank. Same with war. The day Russia knocks on Ukraine's door, and I call it a knocks on Ukraine's door, the market's going to tank. I'm going to say it's going to be a big, big drop. I believe that day is coming, and it's coming this month. Stocks to watch this month because of this are all the energy stocks. Remember that when the war starts, energy will become a problem, and that will make oil and other energy prices rise. I'm still wondering if Hunter Biden will lose his job in the Ukraine if Russia invades. You know, that's $1 million a year job that he sits around doing nothing but doing crack. So I wonder if he gets to keep that crack-doing job. Anyway, this will be good for the stocks, but not so good for heating and gas prices for cars. So be careful. I still like the airline and cruise stocks, but I really wish they would pop already. Now, I did notice that there's an event happening today where Spirit and I think it's Frontier are joining up together to create one company. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow. But, you know, I really wish these stocks would pop. I'm like a father in the delivery room weaning and counting the minutes. Ugh. Hey, the big winner on Friday was Amazon, and I would like the stock except for the price. It makes it too difficult to own multiple shares, so I'm not a big fan of it because it's just too expensive. Maybe we'll get a split there too. But prepare for the split in Google by July. Buy it now. And Ford again had a bad week and a bad day on Friday, and the stock is now below 18. I'd say look for it below 15 before considering. And again, the futures are just moving up just a little bit. Actually, the Dow is at 21, the Dow is plus 10, and the NASDAQ is plus 21. Let's talk about crypto and Bitcoin. So Bitcoin finally moved above 42,000 again, and Ethereum is above 3,000 again. I did see some of the smaller coins move up as well this weekend. You know, it might be a comeback for digital currencies, and at the same time, even if you don't invest in crypto, you should watch it because it's often a tell for the stock market as a leading indicator. When crypto goes up, the stock market often follows. So take a look, right? By the way, somebody was asking me what station is WWDB. WWDB is 860 AM, 860 AM. You know, I probably should add that. That actually makes total sense to me. All right, let's talk about gold and silver. Nothing really to report on gold and silver. It's just sitting there. Silver is doing nothing. By the way, I'm still buying it, and I suggest you do the same because eventually the zombie apocalypse is going to happen. And when it does, you're going to be really happy that you held your gold and silver because it's probably going to be the only thing that you're going to be able to use to buy food. Let's talk about the 10-year Treasury bond. It's over 1.9, and it's going to head for that panic range of 2. When it hits 2, oh boy, watch the market freak out. The day it hits 2, and let me just see real quick where we are right now. It's actually 1.923. Oh boy. When it hits 2, watch the market freak out. The NASDAQ is going to drop between 2 and probably even 400 points immediately. So be careful with this. Watch it because it's not going to be good. Hey, all you guys on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, I want to thank you for your continued support. We are going to try something. I don't know if we're going to try it this Friday, but we're going to try something a little new. We're going to call it Phone Call Fridays. So you guys on WWDB, you're listening on WWDB, will be able to call in and just talk to me, ask me questions about the market or whatever it is you'd like to do. We're going to try it. We're going to see if it works. But of course, if you're on WWDB Radio, you can leave comments on the WWDB fan page and look for us online. Hey, listen. Just so you know, of course, my name is Larry Steinhouse. I'm also the host of Money Chat Now and the CEO of Investor Schooling. But before we finish, did you guys order my book yet? Hey, go to Money Hacks. Look up Money Hacks on Barnes & Noble or anywhere you buy your books. Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse. And I guarantee you're going to enjoy that book. I've been posting some pages on Facebook, and a lot of people have made some great comments. You can pre-order it now. You'll have it in July, and I promise you, you're going to learn a lot from this book. Hey, from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show are solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. Hey, Michael just joined us and said good morning. Well, it's about time he joined us. All right. Hey, I want to tell you all to have an awesome, awesome day and make it a profitable day. We'll see you tomorrow.